Okay, well, I said I was going to do this, so I am going to do this. Harry Styles versus Justin Bieber. So this has been a long-standing thing. Now, I was too old to be a fan of either Bieber or the One Direction fandom, but I was even aware that there was a very intense competition between the Beliebers and the One Directioners, and then multiple videos that went on for years where they would compare vocally Harry Styles and Justin Bieber, since they kind of at the time were like the two most famous young singers in the planet, selling out stadiums. So I would say that you can't really compare fully because it comes down to musical taste. But I'm going to be biased here, and I'm just going to say when it comes to the Harry Styles versus Justin Bieber, who is better? I'm not even talking about music. I'm talking about, honestly, their vibe. Now, we can only base it on noticeable public interactions because we don't know these people, but here's some kudos to Harry. So he has been known to regularly stop concerts to check in on fan safety. So for example, in 2022 at a Manchester concert, he paused to make sure that a fan who had fallen received medical attention. Now, he kind of has a big crowd and he is a natural showman. For him to have noticed that, it's like, well, yeah, maybe the fan was near the stage, but still, that was not an isolated incident. He does do this often. He's also known for supporting fans coming out at concerts by reading their signs and creating a celebratory moment, which is why the One Direction and also Harry's concerts are sort of known as emotional safe spaces. He was also able to maintain his composure during the 2023 Grammys when there was technical difficulties that affected his performance, but like a consummate professional, the show went on. Sort of similar to when he was with One Direction and Liam Payne pulled his pants down and he just kept going. So he's been able to do this for a while, and he has openly discussed the importance of therapy and well-being and interviews, and openly admits that he's gone and really has benefited from it. Justin Bieber, on the other hand, was almost deported. I don't know how serious it was, but there was a period of time where, you saw mugshots of Justin Bieber, saw him in a courtroom in like orange jumpsuits, and then it led to some people on, I think it was Change.org, one of those petition sites, petitioning to have him deported because he's actually not a U.S. citizen and is here on a visa. And generally speaking, if you're here on a visa and you get into some legal trouble, you can be deported. He was also photographed urinating in a bucket, which definitely not a good look. And then a video surfaced of him when he was about 15 or 16 singing a variation of his song One Less Lonely Girl, where he used a racial epithet, and it was not good. So that, a lot of this happened 10 years ago now, and he has since found spirituality, got married, has a young baby, and has also talked about mental health struggles. Now, the thing is, Justin has been known to be really rude. Yeah, I know. If people bug a celebrity enough, they can lose their composure. So yeah, they are human. But there have been times where Justin has been caught being rude to people, like his entourage, or just people working a venue that he's at, and he will just be rude for no reason. Like one guy said, "Hey man, what's up?" Like just be friendly. Nothing more than that. And Justin decided to be a real jerk about it and said, "I don't know why you're talking like that. We're not friends, And the guy apologized, and he kind of made a conflict when there didn't really need to be one. Like person was just saying hi. Other things is, yes, people go out of their way to maybe find some tension between him and Haley, but they don't seem to have to try very hard because it seems to be really frequent. Now, we don't know their interactions. We don't know the truth of their relationship. Maybe they just have a dark sense of humor, but nonetheless, it's the totality of circumstances. So kind of like Harry, you got Justin, and nobody's perfect. All I'm saying is that Justin was like the bad boy, and he really lived into it, and Harry was the angel, and he kind of really lived into it, and in a way, but it does not seem to be an act on either part. Now, being a child star is really hard. It's hard enough for someone who's an adult, but it's really hard if you start really young. Because keep in mind, they both became famous at about the same age, because they're like a month apart. Harry's an Aquarius in February, and born in February, and Justin is a Pisces born in March, but the same year. And they became really famous really fast. One through the X Factor, another through YouTube. But I guess maybe it's because Harry was in a group, but I don't know. I think it comes down to just their character. Because yes, cute and young is great, but you can stay cute. But if you live long enough, you don't stay young. It's just life. And when Harry had his 31st birthday on February 1st of 2025, E! News decided to celebrate it by rebroadcasting the very first sit-down interview that he did with them. I think he was about 18 or so, around that age. It was during the frat boy Harry era. I base it based on his look. And the interviewer said, you came in, you shook everyone's hands, you did this, and I think he obviously was kind of impressed. And they asked him who taught you to do that, and he said, my mom. Now, keep in mind, there are people whose parents teach them the same thing, but they don't do it. There are people whose parents never teach them that sort of diplomatic, gentlemanly thing, and they learn to do it anyway. So at a certain point, as young as he was at the time, I, in my own bias, will say that was an indication of character. Justin Bieber, well, you know what? I've never seen a mugshot of Harry Styles, but I've certainly seen a lot of Justin Bieber. But yes, he was young. Yes, he's turned his life around. But with Justin, I'm so sorry that whatever happened to you, and if the speculation is correct that Diddy's pending trial is affecting you, I really hope Justin continues to get help and support. But he just seems like such a dick. And, Justin had a supportive mom, and his parents were also divorced with Harry. But somehow, I think it just, he comes from a maybe more, not as a solid emotional foundation, because his dad was kind of absent, but they're now close, and you just get the sense that like Harry just lucked out, and he's even said it himself, I have a very loving family. However, there are people that didn't have the most supportive families, but they act nicer than Justin, and they're just as famous, if not more. So, I don't think that the Harry Styles versus Justin Bieber, outside of music, I don't think it was ever a competition. I think it was always Harry. Harry always won hands down. And as the years go on and as they all get older, I'm more willing to bet that the contrast will continue. Now, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope that whatever is troubling Justin, if something is troubling Justin, we'll find peace. But Justin just doesn't seem like a very nice person. He seems just as emotional. He seems very in tune with his feelings. That's why he gives amazing performances as well. And yeah, vocally, I think he is superior to Harry. But you know what? Do enough drugs, and that voice might change, because look what happened to Whitney Houston. So I would say that if you were a believer, you missed out on an angel. Because I think all around, it was always Harry Styles, and he's kind of like the role model you'd want your kids to have, and how he treats people. And he's got this aura about him that I've never seen in Bieber. Like, Harry is like a people magnet. Like, there's so many books on charisma, and there's like these webinars on charisma. But if you really just want to see the genuine article and like really learn from it, just watch Harry. I'm really simplifying it, but if you want to, on the flip side, if you want an example of how to, alienate fans, how to get people thinking that you're disturbed, and how to get a petition going to get you kicked out of the country, well, then watch Justin. So, and yeah, Justin did find God and all that, but I've never seen the aura around Justin, and I think he was attracting people because he was talented. He can play a lot of instruments. I mean, Justin is a pretty piece of musical genius. But I think apart from like just his sheer talent, I didn't. I've never seen that aura with Justin. Because if you think about it, Harry didn't play the guitar when he first got selected, but he just blossomed